Hey guys, welcome back to ProJared has been playing City Skylines recently. That is my awful intro.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So because you were talking about Northern Lions been playing Rocket League, and so I think I've been noticing something like that with like ProJared has been playing City Skylines.
Are we allowed to talk about ProJared?
Yes.
Is he considered redeemed by the masses generally? I think it was revealed that like a lot of things weren't true or something like that.
Well, he did a video where he sort of said, "Look, the reason I've been staying quiet is because I've been very careful not to do anything silly, like they talk too much and say the wrong things too much." Where ProJared decided, okay, I'm gonna go quiet. I'm gonna go talk to some professionals and say, hey, this is my situation. What do I do?
That was a while ago. I think that people generally have forgiven him, or at the very least, people don't talk about him anymore. I don't know. I never really watched this stuff much to begin with. I've watched a bit since all of that, some of his stuff. I've watched his Final Fantasy review series.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's because I know shit all about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and he's like a massive super fan.
He's a huge fan of it. And I thought, if anyone's going to explain this series to me, someone like him, I guess, might as well. I don't really have a real solid opinion on him as a content creator or as an individual, really. I just, like, whatever, man. I just want to know about what the fuck's up with Final Fantasy. And then kind of solidify the idea that it doesn't really interest me as a franchise.
There's a video series on YouTube where it's like Indians talking about this is the Australian way of life. And it's all like a joke, obviously.
But that's what I was going to say. If it's a joke,
they know that they're wrong, and they're doing it on purpose. And I think it's very tasteful the way they did it.
Yeah, and that's why I don't know. That I'd be like, yeah, that's funny. You know? I mean, people make fun of Australians like literally all the time, and very few people know about our culture.
Yeah.
Even like other like English-speaking countries, or I'd say even especially so, don't actually know what we're all about. So. I think I want to drop here. Yeah. But
even
so,
if you made a statement saying this is what Australians are about, this is their way of life and all that, that's not always representative on a daily. Always represented by Australians on a daily basis.
And that's what I think with Gaijin Goober. It's like I'm sure that he knows a lot. I bet he's like lived in Japan for like many years or something like that. Yeah. But like unless he was born there, I'm always going to take everything
he used to
says.
Teach there. I don't think he ever lived there. Well, he did live there to teach there, but on a seasonal basis.
Right. I don't know. It's just it's just strange to me, I guess. But then again, like at the same time, what do I know? I'm not really a cultured person. That is to say, I don't often like look up much about other countries, really. So what would I know? You know, in the same kind of vein of did I jump through this?
Probably the only time that I had a serious look at another country and their culture and stuff like that was a country that is not recognised by most recognised UN approved states.
Oh, what's that?
Transnistria.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It's in Eastern Europe on the edge of Moldova and next to Ukraine.
Cool.
And it's sort of like a post-Soviet Union country that holds ties to Russia and still sort of celebrates the Soviet Union's way of doing things. Just more of the system than encampments and things like that.
I've never heard of that.
But like life used to be good for people before the Soviet Union. For some people, like people who worked in mines and people who like they had jobs and they could depend on those jobs. Whereas in a free market economy, you can't always depend on that because sometimes the company you're working for runs out of business or manages things so poorly that they can't employ you anymore.
Right.
So. It was really good for them for a long time, and then when the Soviet Union collapsed, it didn't work out very well for them. And so you can understand. It's kind of like it's a country that wants to go back to the golden age, but like it exists purely for that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
I did a project on what do I call it? Non-recognized states, something like that. There's a term for it. And when I found out about the countries that aren't recognized, I thought, oh my god, there's like a whole world that I didn't know about. Like a whole different side of the world.
There's like many countries in the world.
Yeah. Well, there's
it's weird for us. You guys need to understand, because Australia is a continent and a country. So
and
like
an island.
Unlike so many other countries in the world, we can't just like walk to another country, which is such a weird phrase for me to even say. Like that it is even possible. So we're very kind of sheltered out here, honestly. And anyway, my point was that I'm not very worldly, so I know nothing about any other country in the world.
You've been to more foreign countries than I have.
That is true.
I've been to New Zealand, you've been to France and the UK.
Yeah. But I mean, look, just because I went there doesn't mean I know a lot about it. I'm not going to claim... No. That's the thing, I'm not going to claim that I know everything about French people just because I've been to France.
Yeah.
I was only there for 2 days or 3 days, something like that.
And
as a tourist.
Some French people find it offensive if you try to...
I looked and acted like Two Flower from Discworld.
Oh, okay.
He's a tourist. He's the first ever tourist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
At least in Ankh-Morpork. Sorry, I've been reading Discworld books. I can't help it.
Nice.
Even though that character's from the very first one. So yeah, look, I don't know. I bet there are a few random facts I know about random countries and stuff like that. I do watch a lot of QI.
Yeah. QI
is such an interesting show because, like, I've learned so many interesting facts that I'm always like, that is so, like, huh. You know, I'll be sure to remember that, and then I never do. I just remember like a thing every now and then, and that's about it. Anyway, don't mind me. I'm just.
Jeez, that was horrifying watching that. Whatever that barber's called.
Horrifying for Link, him or you?
No, like you. So you shot his stem, and he was wriggling on the ground, and then he just fell off and died.
Well, you don't know he died. He could be writhing in pain at the bottom of the earth.
What makes you think he's in pain, or if he was tied down, and now he realizes he has no way of moving?
Plants can't feel pain. I don't know, maybe I can. That's what I know.
I think vegans will disagree.
What?
I'm joking.
But vegans eat plants.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get into all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. Call this the controversial episode.
Yeah.
Even though this has probably been a weird
different episode.
3 different things. We're not even saying anything controversial. We're just talking about things.
Yeah.
Talking about the Soviet Union and vegans and ProJared. And a YouTuber whose name has been beeped out. Yeah. And something else that was beeped out. I've already forgotten. What did you beep out before again? I can't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
We should talk about something. You know, way back when, before we got into this conversation, we were talking about movies.
Oh yes.
So you went and saw The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife.
Yep.
Or The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And you said it was a boring ass movie and you hated it. But what about the other 2 movies?
The other one I saw was.
Well, maybe we should wait until next time to do it.
The other one in 20 seconds time.
No. Oh, actually, yeah. You tell people what it is. Give them a bit of a tease.
Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh yes.
Or Space Jam 2: Electric Boogaloo.
As we prefer to call it.
As we prefer.
We will call all sequels to everything 2 Electric Boogaloo, like Star Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo, The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time we'll talk about Space Jam.